Hello guys, Aka here. So, we have Louis II, or is it the third? I don't know, I'm getting confused. We have quite a few Louis now, so yeah, it's the second. Okay, Louis II. There we go. Right, so our dear friend Louis II is the latest ground general to be introduced into the game. And as you know, we've had a pretty decent selection of ground generals being released recently. So Louis is going up against some tough competition. So here we want to take a look at him, see how well he does, and see how he stacks up against the other good ground generals that we have in the game. So without further ado, let's take a lookie at Louis. Okay, so we have Louis here, and we want to start off with his main skill. So when we look at his main skill, he gets 55% attack, 40% defense, and 55% HP. And note that he's an attacking general, okay, when leading the army to attack. Right, so that's it for his main skill. When we go to his specialties, and we look at the specialties and everything he has in there, Louis II comes out with 70% attack, 60% defense, and 60% HP. Okay, that's cool. Looking good so far. So we go on to his ascension, and by the time we put all the stats in his ascension together, Louis II comes out with 80% attack, 60% defense, and 60% HP. Okay, all right, good stuff. Now, when we put all of his stats together, Louis II comes out with a total of 205% attack. Very good, okay. 160% defense and 175% HP. And as someone that does these reviews on a regular basis, these are good stats, okay? These are top-notch, very good stats. So let's put Louis to the test and put him up against tough competition and see how he does. Guys, if you're still paying full price for packs, or you're looking to see if you can save a bit more, you should really check out Paxify. With Paxify, you can save anywhere from 10% up to 35% on your purchases in the game. Of course, Paxify is open to everyone. Everyone's free to use it. Plus, if you're someone that spends quite a bit in the game, you can really stack up the savings by using Paxify. You get Paxify credits using the mobile app or the web app for iOS, and you use those credits to get pink gems for you to use in the game. The gems are loaded on your account within a matter of minutes, so you'll be good to run very quickly. If you're planning on spending in an event, whether that's just buying a pack or two, or you're planning on doing the full cake, in one transaction, you can have all the pink gems that you need for that event loaded up straight into your account, and you can use those pink gems whenever you're ready to coin. Now, if you wanted to know a bit more about Paxify, they've been in operation for over 4 years. They've got a zero ban record, and on Trustpilot, they've got thousands of reviews, and in the last month alone, they've helped players save over $240,000. So I think that's good enough reason for you to give them a try. And for those people that spend big with Paxify, you have the chance of being invited into the Paxify Prestige Club, which is an exclusive invite-only community for Paxify users. There, you get extra perks, extra benefits, things to help you push your development even further. So, if you're interested in checking it out, I've got all the links that you need for Paxify down in the description. And when you're setting it up, remember to use the code REDEVONY and enjoy your savings and see how far you can push your development by coining smarter. Right, so the generals we're going to be comparing Louis with are right here, okay? And these are their stats. Now, right off the bat, as I said, you can see Louis is doing very well, okay? Very good indeed. For the generals we're looking at now, he has the highest attack, tied for the highest defense, and has the highest HP by a very good margin. Okay, so stats-wise, this guy is looking very good. Looking like something out of a superhero movie or something like that. Before we conclude on Louis, of course, we have to look at march size, right? March size is important for ground marches, so we need to look at it. Right, now for these generals, these are their march sizes. Now, you can see that the analysis takes a slightly different complexion now. Because while Louis is not bad on the march size, okay, 18% for a ground general is not bad at all, right? You can see that he's falling short of the top guys, Narcissus and Gao. So, yeah, there's that bit of a shortcoming there. But all things considered, 18% march size for Louis is pretty good. Now, if we say that Narcissus and Gao, because of their march sizes, are in a completely different class, okay, we can take them out. Let's replace them with two other generals. So we chuck in Charles and Maria Carolina, all right? They are also very decent generals. So we just take a step back. Here are their stats again, okay? As you can see, Louis still doing very respectably on the stats, all right? And here are their march sizes. So you see what I mean when I say that Louis at 18% is still pretty decent. Okay, so that's the comparison there. We now want to move on and take a look at his covenant. Right, so we have his covenant here, okay? And these are the generals that he needs for his covenant. Pretty decent selection. I'm willing to bet a lot of people have these generals. So doing Louis' covenant shouldn't be too much of a problem for most people. Right, now we look at the stats. Okay, he's got march size down there at the very bottom, 8%. As usual, we factor that in. And all in all, his covenant is pretty okay. I would like to highlight a point though, that if we look right here, he's got 10% ground attack. We look here, he's got attacking ground attack 5%, right? And this one is a gold stat. And he also has in rally ground attack 10%. So depending on the situation, that's a total of 25% ground attack that you get for Louis. Now, it's not that big a thing, but if memory serves me correctly, that is pushing towards the higher end for attack stats that you get from these covenants. Okay, so in that sense, that's a good plus for him right there. People might make an argument of how many ground rallies you actually do, but hey, when you need it, it helps. So that's the point to note there. In addition, his defense comes up to 20%. So yeah, that's, pretty okay as well. HP, 10%, but as we saw from the stats, he's not lacking on HP at all. So this is like an extra plus for him. All in all, a good covenant that we have right here. Okay, so we want to move on and take a look at Louis' compatibility. And as usual, we'll start off with compatibility with skill books. So we have him right here. We come to the skill books. We want to check for ground attack. Ground attack is good, okay? We go down, look for ground defense. Here we go, ground defense. Ground defense is good. Look for HP. HP is right here, and HP is good. For good measure, check march size. March size is good. So Louis II can take all the ground books that we have in the game, okay? He's a go on that. Now, we want to go ahead and check his compatibility with other generals. So we come down to the wall as usual. Here we go. Right, so we have Louis here. And the first general that we're going to compare him with is Lucilla. And as we can see, Lucilla and Louis are a go. So this is a good combination. Lucilla is very strong on the assistant point. So yeah, this is a good one. Okay, now moving on, the next general we're going to look at is Narcissus. And unfortunately, as we can see, Louis and Narcissus are a no-go. Okay, this combination does not work, not compatible. The next general that we have is Gao. And as we can see, Louis and Gao are a go. Okay, this is a good combination for anyone that wants to use it. Plus, I would like to add that we know that Gao, one of his shortcomings is his HP. Louis has tons of HP. So, for anyone that wanted to use this combination, there you go. Right, now we move on. We check Louis with Tortilla. Okay, this combination is good. We check with Zhang Fei. Okay, Zhang Fei is a go on this one. Good stuff. And we check with Alexander Hamilton. This combination is a go. So, as we can see, with the exception of Narcissus, Louis II has pretty decent compatibility. Now, of course, we've got tons more ground generals in the game. So, if you can check Louis out with any other prominent generals, feel free to drop a comment down below about whether they work or whether they don't work. Alright, now we've taken a look at Louis as the main general. We want to look at him now as the assistant. So here we have the stats for the assistants. And as you can see, stats-wise, he's doing very good. We're seeing a slightly different picture when it comes to the stats. As you can see, he's not quite the highest on attack anymore or on defense. HP, he's still very good. But if we look at the other generals, the difference in HP is not as much as it was before when we're looking at him at the main general. This would imply that Louis gets a ton of his stats from his Ascension. Now, with that said, we look at the march size. And on average, he's doing okay on the march size. All right, he's not bad. Of course, generals like Lucilla and Maria Carolina have more march size on the assistant role than Louis does. Gao as well. So, yeah, maybe because of that, he's not quite a top contender for, the assistant role. But he's still a pretty decent option if you didn't have any of these top guys there. Right, now, with all that said and done, I think the verdict on Louis II is he's a very good general. A rating for this one, no question about it. Doesn't quite get the A+ because of the march size. Okay, as we saw earlier, I think Narcissus is still holding the title for best ground general in the game because of the march size and the fact that Gao is a when leading the army general as opposed to an attacking general. I think he edges out Louis as well, right? The only other general that I can think of that would be on par with Louis II is Alexander Hamilton. But in my opinion, I think Louis edges him out on the stats. So yeah, I would give that one to Louis. So all in all, yeah, Louis II is a very good general. Not the top general in the game, but definitely top tier, right? So if you didn't have, one of the top generals, and at this stage, there are quite few of them, to be honest, and you were looking to get a new general, Louis II is a very good option for your ground march. Decent stats, no glaringly obvious problems. Yeah, if you wanted to get this guy, you're good to go, basically. If you're looking for more comparisons to see how other ground generals do and then compare them to Louis, if you wanted to make a decision, then you can check out this video here, which we cover more ground generals in there. That's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. Aka signing out.